Mike Cormack from Edinburgh Coalition Against Poverty. Mike.
Aye, thanks very much. Really pleased to be here today. Edinburgh Coalition Against Poverty is a group of unemployed people, folk on disability benefits, folk in low-paid jobs, and what we're about is supporting each other and standing up against the authorities. We're independent of any political party. We work together with the Scottish Unemployed Workers Network and with Dundee Against Welfare Sanctions and other groups. What our slogan is, if you're facing the job centre or any authorities, never face them alone. What we advocate is, if you're called into the job centre to discuss your job seekers agreement or your claimant's commitment, as it's called now, and they're threatening you with sanctions, don't go yourself to be bullied. Go with a pal, go with an advisor, go with someone that can back you up. We do that all the time in Edinburgh, and you've got a total right to do that. And I know Dundee Against Welfare Sanctions and Scottish Unemployed Workers Network are doing that in Dundee as well. The same goes if you've got to go to one of these disgusting ATOS tests, where ATOS, the multinational company, are taking the government's money to try and kick people off disability benefits. Don't go and meet these bullies by yourself. Go with a friend or advisor and work out in advance what you're going to say to make sure you get what you deserve and what you need. So it's the same whenever we're facing the authorities, if it's the council or the job centre, whoever it is, don't go alone. But we've got to do more than that, because we've got to actually make austerity policies unworkable. We've got to make it impossible for them to make these cuts. Just one wee example. One of our group was sent to the Salvation Army to work for his benefits. It was on these workfare schemes where they say, you go and work for nothing or we'll stop all your money. And what happened was, because he was under the sanction threat, he went along to the Salvation Army at 9 o'clock this Monday morning. But at 2 minutes past 9, in walked through the door of the Salvation Army charity shop a dozen of us from Edinburgh Coalition Against Poverty. And we had our placards, we had our banners, we had our leaflets, and we had a demonstration against workfare inside the Salvation Army shop. The manager went completely mental. She told our friend, I don't think we can do anything today. You'll have to come back tomorrow and we'll give you an interview to see if you can do workfare in our shop. So he came back the next day at 9 o'clock again, and on the dot at 2 minutes past 9, a dozen of us turned up again. So unsurprisingly, the result of the interview was that the Salvation Army decided our friend was not suitable to do a work placement in their shop. So imagine what would happen if everybody that was sent on workfare turned up on their first day at the exploiting employer with a dozen or even half a dozen of their mates to stage an anti-workfare demonstration. The scheme would be completely unworkable and they'd have to abandon it. And that's just a wee example of what we think is needed. The same kind of direct action is beating the bedroom tax in Scotland. Because thousands of us haven't paid this unfair tax, and because we've organised in our communities to resist evictions, they just haven't been able to work the bedroom tax in Scotland. It's unworkable and they're having to put in money to cover it. The battle's no over, but we're winning. And we think it's really important to fight the cuts, whoever they're coming from. We all know the brutality and viciousness of the Tory Lib Dem coalition. We've all heard Labour making all this pathetic statements about how they can bash the poor and help the rich even better than the Tories. But it doesn't matter who's making the cuts, we've got to fight back. For example, in Edinburgh, where I come from, the council is going to make £22 million worth of cuts if we let them get away with it. And this is a council that's a Labour SNP coalition. So we say it doesn't matter who's making the cuts, we've got to resist them. And one of the worst cuts that councils are making, certainly in Edinburgh and I'm sure all around Scotland, is they're putting the charges up for elderly and disabled people who need support in their homes. A pal of mine that works in care, he was telling us some of the folk he works with, their charges has gone up from nothing to £200 a month. So this is what we call the care tax. People that need care and support in their home are being charged extortionate amounts. It's going sky high just to live. So there's now a campaign started, the Scottish campaign against the care tax, and they're calling for the abolition of charges for folk that need care and support in their home. And we've got to be ready to back that up and take direct action to support that. And I'd just like to briefly say that along with all the austerity attacks, there's other attacks on us. There's fracking, for example. There's a company called Ineos in Grangemouth thinks it's okay to destroy the environment and make loads of money. But imagine if hundreds of us turn up at their fracking sites, at their drilling sites, they'll soon see what's more powerful, people power or money. We've got to reject the divide and rule, the poison racism that's coming from so many politicians. The thing is that immigrants are not responsible for the global crisis of capitalism. We've got to say it's solidarity, not scapegoating, and that we've got to work alongside everybody to fight back. Aye. Okay, just to finish up, I'd just like to say that what we are asking for is for folk to organise together and to discuss how we can make austerity unworkable, not only in Scotland but all round the world, because this is something that's happening in every country. You could say from Brecon to Buenos Aires. And I think our message to the authorities and to governments everywhere should be, as it says on that banner up at the back there, if you exploit us, we will shut you down. Thanks.